people are happy, others are still waiting.
I know,
others are not
I
happy.
know. Okay, so
you guys are talking about Ghana things. You're talking about things in Ghana, right?
Oh, everything is saying. But Parliament, when you go, sometimes instead of that, you talk about things.
Are you talking about US?
I think US is more of a headache than or the headache of our compatriot that what's happening with you.
Why? Is it because of the sweeping?
Okay, so aside deportation, of course, and many other things, and then some are saying that do what you call self-deportation. That one will save you from imprisonment because before the deportation, you are actually caged.
Yeah. Before
they send you back to wherever you are going. Aside that, our politicians are not too happy.
Why?
The automatic birthright citizenship is gone.
No, but now, no. Does it just go with a signature?
It does.
Are you sure?
It does. When the president issues executive orders, he issues executive orders, right? They are things that are automatic.
I was reading somewhere that it may face some hurdles.
Oh no!
But so that is in terms of reactions.
No, I get that.
Maybe some people will decide to take it to court.
Oh no, that I agree. But for now, the decision of the president of the U.S., the 45th and 47th president, all in one, is that if you decide to impregnate your wife, and then manage to find money and afford plane tickets, right? And then your wife goes there and delivers. The child is still Ghanaian.
But why should majority of our citizens bother? Like, why should it be a problem? Why should we care?
The affluent. No, okay. So that's why I limited it to the affluent.
So this is a peculiar problem for a certain class
for rich people.
Ghanaian, but I don't think.
Yeah. But in Ghana, middle class is not that rich. Child, middle class is lower.
Who says no middle class?
Yeah.
No, but
it's up and low.
The seeming middle class, they've had their money is wiped away by the DDEP.
Yeah, they were not too far away from us anyway.
Yeah, exactly. We don't see them from where we were. You guys are just me. We could wave at them and they could see us.
Exactly. The gap was not that wide. You see, the gap is the real one. The 1% up there.
So as you do here, you get 1 million Ghana cedi for account.
No! So that's the point I'm making, that they are not too far from us.
Settings.
So, but on a more serious note, I think that the proper resetting is happening in the US. You heard the man say that the only gender we know
it's female and male, and then they are going to institutionalize it. And the other thing is, there are things he's doing that if you dare do it here, the way people will come at you. This pardon he's granted the people that invaded the capital. I mean, I get it. I get that they are your supporters and all, but I think you should have let it stand. Because you need to send a certain signal that some things are not permissible, no matter where you stand. Do you understand? And so for me, for that one, I have a little reservation. And any other thing else is totally.
Oh, but they've been punished, Kakra.
In the US, some law enforcement agents died, though.
Yes.
You see, people were attacked.
It was an attack.
You get it?
Like you said, yes. It was an attack on the soul of the country. You don't. Well, but it's Trump.
But he describes them as hostages. Like the system is holding them hostage.
That's what Trump did. You didn't see how he introduced his son.
Yeah. And then he danced.
I didn't see the dance.
Oh, okay.
I just saw him, wave. He's standing like a statue. And at the last part, he did this like. Louder. Yo.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk.
Yeah.
That guy will be like his father.
Just a replica. So he's holding what we can describe as the sword of authority for us. And then he's dancing with them. Yes, dancing.
He's so unconventional.
Sometimes the world needs an unconventional leader. Sometimes he's Trump is extreme ends, no middle ground. It's either he's taking a very extreme position or he's fighting some
needless battle somewhere.
There are things he will do, you're like,
cringe mind.
So sometimes people,
that is
for those who are not out and out Trump supporters, they are always careful as to when they want to praise him or how to praise him, because he may just flip it when you least expect.
That's true. So I'm coming. Would it have been better that the Americans took it like double chin here? That's it, right? Yes, it's true about the in terms like he does it 8 years ago. Now Biden came and gave them a brief
back to it.
And then they come to it again. So like first break.
The people say that's what they want. So they should see it through. Just like how in Ghana we went and came back in.
Yeah.
But I mean, in our situation, we did a full
8
before
years.
going.
Yeah.
I mean, reversing. But in their case, they did in, out, in.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of?
Come on, though.
University days, in, out, in.
Yeah, in out policy.
Oh dear.
And we follow it. Anyway, some people are equally happy in Ghana.
Yeah, some are happy, some are not happy.
Yeah.
Are you a staffer?
That's the question.
Are you a staffer?
That's the question.
Are you on aid? Are you a special advisor?
Are you a senior aide too and senior special advisor?
Are you a chief of staff?
So in all this, yes, Stan finally has a portfolio.
He has officially
Yes.
the thing is that he has always been.
Exactly.
But it was without
It was
position.
not on paper.
Yes, it was without documentation.
Exactly.
And
So
now
now-
it's been specified, operations.
Now that it's
yes, and
cemented.
deputy chief of staff.
in charge of operations.
Operations.
Yes. So now there's a designation to it, right? So there's a method to it.
the
and,
madness.
yeah. Yes, of course. in that
There's a
context.
method to the madness, yes.
Yes. And aside that, before latest appointment, in fact, I was surprised that when I heard the security couples being named, his name did not feature.
But I think he's a perfect fit for what they have named him
Yes,
for.
but it sends you a message that
Yeah.
maybe they have decided to break away. It means that
No,
they've
but
not been.
no, the thing is that
No,
they
we
have
were,
not-
we were harboring some hopes
Oh.
that they could rescind the decision
no,
of create that one, all right, but still remain in
but the
ECOWAS.
alliance has been created.
I get that.
Yes.
But then we were hoping
That
that
they
they
would
would
dismantle-
still remain
No,
with
no.
ECOWAS, right?
No.
And then probably have that alliance, as we had Ghana, Guinea, Mali.
Yeah.
It didn't stop us from being part
Yeah,
of
so that's what it's
or-
going to
yeah.
be. That's
Yeah.
what it's going to be. That there will be, the alliance will be there,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
if we are able to make progress, they will
Yeah.
come back and join ECOWAS as
ECOWAS,
well
yeah.
as a bigger group.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I am wondering. It'll be good to hear some international relations persons in connection to this particular appointment.
Yeah.
What are the signals it sends and all
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
and is it Ghana accepting the reality that this is what it is, and
Yeah.
so you either do business with them or otherwise.
Yeah.
And for us to, I think we gain
Oh, yes.
from the landlocked countries like
yes,
Burkina
we do.
Faso, for
We do.
example.
We do.
And
They
so-
also benefit from us directly.
Exactly.
Aside that, Joyce Bauer's appointment did not come to me as a surprise,
Now
given what I know.
it is going to now douse all the
foreign affairs,
talk
the
about the
rumors
rumble.
about-
No, it's not a rumble. The tag of war in terms of who to get the
Yeah.
foreign affairs ministry.
Yeah.
Let's see if it will indeed go to a black hole like
So
people have
a
said.
clearer picture is emerging now.
Yeah.
Yes,
So-
so
Until we see an official
But
document.
you know what? When there was the talk about perhaps her going to the foreign ministry, I found it a little strange because this is someone the president trusts in terms of being his aide and spokesperson for so long.
yeah,
I don't know if he has built a rapport with somebody else in that manner
yeah,
for another person to take over that position.
yeah.
Yeah. So to just yank her off from there, someone who has been with you, knows you ins and outs, and then sending the person away, I was wondering who else he was going to put in that position.
Yeah, I get that, but I was looking at mainly one portfolio for her, and that's the transport ministry. That would have been an elevation. She was deputy transport minister,
Yeah.
and then now going there as a substantive. And then I got to know of the foreign affairs bit, which was quite forceful. And I can tell you that's part of the reasons why that portfolio has delayed relative to naming who
I'm
is
sure it had
heading
to
there.
take a lot of conversations and
Exactly. So eventually when I got to know that a determination had been made that no to that, it doesn't come to me as a surprise that she has opted to stay at the presidency, right?
Okay.
And it's good for her progression and for her development. Then I agree with you that he's been in the cabinet, that kitchen cabinet, for a very long while. So if going external and your choice is not what you're getting and you opt to stay, why not? Nana Yajanto's appointment also doesn't come to me as a surprise.
yeah.
Prior to the elections, we engaged her, and we all knew that she had decided to pitch camp with the NDC or pitch camp with the Mahama Jane ticket and campaign vigorously for them. And she had mentioned that to her, what mattered is that MPP be booted out. Nothing else mattered. And she made that abundantly clear in her engagements with her.
I mean, she didn't hide.
She didn't hide it.
She didn't say, "Oh, I'm just I'm just doing this because she was outright and said, I am joining the party that is going to help kick out this party.
Yeah.
And so
so it doesn't come as a surprise that she's secretly been sent to the presidency as a staffer. Between Sana, you engage her here. Her own came to me a bit as a surprise, but you see, in politics you don't get what you want.
She's the deputy spokesperson, right?
Presidential staffer.
She's also a presidential.
Okay. The same person, right?
Yeah. She's a staffer. What I got to know was that she wanted to leave the presidency. You know, she was the deputy spokesperson for the campaign.
Yes.
Right. She wanted to leave the presidency. But I think because of the decision to yank the information ministry altogether, right? From what we gather, Phyllis might remain in that portfolio that he's holding. No, as in the substantive presidential spokesperson. Right.
But that doesn't mean it's the first time we're going to have an
MP hold that portfolio.
Yeah.
Yes. You see, we are looking at the disadvantages. It might come with advantages.
Okay, you know what? I'm looking at it this way, that because he's a member of parliament,
exactly,
he also needs to focus on the executive,
and
the legislature. But then again, I see why there's a deputy now.
Yeah.
In the person of Shamima Muslim, she's most likely going to do a lot more of the work. With Felix coming in from time to time. Maybe with time she will be elevated to that position, and then Felix can focus.
And then go. Felix can go elsewhere because see, after the executive, serving in the executive as an MP, if you give all of them the opportunity, nobody will say no. Nobody will say that I'm forgoing the executive position and returning to parliament to concentrate on my legislation. That would mean that you are actually cutting your nose to spite your face, as they say. But here's the thing. See, we are looking at availability of resources for him to develop his constituency. Yes. Where else to get resources than a whisker away from the president?
I see.
You get the point.
Anyway, but with Madam Joyce Bawa Mokhtari, I think that's what's going to happen. The same thing that happened to Jana Paul will happen again. Remember when President Mahama won in 2012, 2013, Jana Paul was still a spokesperson. Then later he was elevated to deputy power minister. I think that's what was going to happen in the case of when the lobbying dies down, there will be a reshuffle.
And that's what it is. So I'm sure at a certain point, some of the people, they will just let them know that, listen, relax. Let's settle, because everything is just all over the place, and I really do not envy the president at all, because everybody is in your ear, and you may not be fortunate to get, the right people, because I remember that, when he won at one of the Thanksgiving services, he prayed for discernment, because look, everybody is coming. And we know that politics is all about interest. People will come, people will be pitched to you, they will be recommended to you, and then they will come and they will not do jack. Some of the appointments you have made, you are going to even get enemies from it. Look at the Central Region one, for instance, when the communications person for NDC says the guy cannot do the job. That's another headache on its own. And I'm sure this is something that will come up at his vetting. At his vetting, obviously. It will come up at his vetting that this is what your own executive is saying, that you cannot do the job.
Then you prove you can do the job. It's a good question.
Well,
but I find another.
Perhaps it will be it will be a challenge for him to set up. If maybe there is something she saw. I have not listened to the entire audio. I've just seen the caption. Maybe if I listen, I'll see the reasoning. But I think that in things like these, maybe it should have been backdoor communication.
But when politicians say somebody can't do the job, you can't take it on the face value. It is not really about delivering on the job. It has a lot.
Yes, there's a lot they are not saying.
There's a lot of interest and people protecting their interests and all that. But one other appointment I find interesting, and I think we need to engage the anti-graft persons on, has to do with Professor Francis Dodo being made presidential advisor. Presidential advisor, National Anti-Corruption Program.
It's just Batterdam's position that has been given to him.
But I know very well. So let's see what the anti-graft people make of it, because there was some controversy surrounding Professor Dodo when
the Olympics. He was what's the name? In charge of Ghana Olympics Committee at the point.
And Athletics Federation, the Matabisa issue, how it was handled. Some people feel that there was some self-interest there with regard to his part. These are things that are in the public domain. So I just want to see how. I think we need to go back and study exactly what happened, because corruption is very important.
Because whoever seems that Martha situation was not handled well at all. And it will forever be a blot on him.
That will be an albatross on his neck. But hey, we now have a cabinet secretary. I think you must be happy now.
But I think so. We now have it communicated.
Okay.
Right. So, like it was explained, it's a secretariat, and whether it's populated or not, the secretariat exists. Because even these names that have come, there's no way you can tell me that the president just sat there alone and said, okay, I'm sending Dedei to start from as a Morning Star host, right? That's the point. So there's some semblance of cabinet, but it's good that it will be made public now. I also agree that it should have been made public before yesterday.
Well, I seriously believe so.
Yeah.
Tell us about the vetting committee yesterday.
Okay.
Why the needless delay on?
I think this should have been expected. See, let me be frank and brutally honest with you.
Yes.
As to the minority, seizing the opportunity to vent about national happenings, that has been the convention at the start. It's always the case.
Okay.
Be it on the Public Accounts Committee or on the Appointments Committee, because usually the press conferences will not cut for you. The only avenue you have where microphones and cameras are on you as an opposition leader.
1, 2, 3, 4, you're alive.
It's the Appointment Committee, because see, the government people are watching. Even the opposition members are. Everybody is watching.
So it's your moment to shine.
It could have been managed better. That's it. With that said, I think we should have expected what happened yesterday.
Why?
You guys were out there bashing Ahiyafo that he's a weakling, right?
But nothing was different.
No, I'm coming. So I have also insisted that I won't allow you. So you get the point.
Yesterday the bashing didn't stop. The bashing was still.
I'm coming. That's the point. The point is that the old Ahiyafo, from the very first 5 minutes, would have said, you know what? Point well noted. Ranking, go ahead. And within the next 10 minutes, will have been done. But he insisted that he gave a ruling that no. And then, in spite of his ruling, there was disrespect from everywhere.
That's where the issue is.
So the issue is not with him. The issue is the caliber. You see, you guys are too quick to compare him to the wife. They don't respect the man.
So here's the thing. And I think that we, beyond chastising Ahiyafo, yesterday I was having a conversation with a friend. We need to also call out the MPs who are being disrespected.
Yes.
We need to call, especially the minority leader. Yeah. He's being unnecessarily difficult. He will dare not do this under a Joe Wise. Yeah. And sometimes as a people, when we find that somebody's temperament is different from ours, we unduly take advantage of it. And Ahiafo's nature is not one of confrontation, it appears. Yeah. And so even when he wants to exert authority, he's raising his voice. Yeah. Because, but then again, authority does not necessarily mean raise your voice. You can't sound authoritative without raising your voice. Yeah. Just be stern and communicate. Yeah. But maybe that's something he will learn. But it's not his nature.
That's the point.
But nonetheless, for me, I also think his leadership style, and you mentioned, like, we all have our style. I also think that his leadership style has also contributed to what we're seeing in
and that's why we're talking about temperament.
Yes. You know. But now, let's be practical here. The gentleman says, I've given a ruling. The ruling is that this is irrelevant. Then people open microphones and then they start talking.
Yes.
You should not pick a gun and shoot them.
No. Because you are out
the difference between Joe Wise and Ahiyafo is that Joe Wise, his pedigree,
yes,
and his standing exuded a lot of respect from his own colleagues, so they respected him. So you heard the back and forth we had with Suhini. And he was firm. He said, I'm taking the opportunity from you. I'm not allowing you to ask any further questions. And that was it. You didn't hear Suhini's people, his own people, colleagues, put on the mic and start speaking out of turn.
There was a point where they were the speaker gave a directive, and then the minority leader told his colleagues that, open your microphones. And then the chairman said, you cannot do that. To the point where he even said, let's proceed, ask your question, and mention Shaibu or so. Yeah. The man is asking the questions, and Afenyo is talking over them. Because, so we get it that Ahiafo's style is not like Afenyo, it's not like Joe Wise's. He is learning. There are things he could do better. But we need to also call out these other MPs who are misbehaving clearly on the platform.
That's the point. If people speak out of 10, The worst the man can do is to say that they should be walked out or the marshals. But you see, you don't want to get to that extreme. And mind you, the minority is not working out too. They will boycott the process.
They are there. They are there to be a thorn in your flesh.
Look, they know very well that. And sometimes when you are dealing with difficult people, and I'm using difficult advisors, they know that maybe you can't do your worst.
Yeah.
And that will ginger them on. So you see, sometimes you need to surprise them. Once you become unpredictable, people will show you that respect. Once you become so predictable, especially when you are not the aggressive type, trust me, they are politicians nowadays. Politicians take advantage of situations. They'll take advantage of that.
We get the politics elements, but then again, you know, there are limits to it.
Yeah.
There are, you know, I get it that they are playing politics, but be human.
I get that.
That's all.
I get it. See, and finally on this, and it's been a convention in Parliament, and it flies from minority having their say, majority having their way, right? Here's the thing: the minority knows that if there is any side that wants the process to go on for President Mahama to have the full complement of his team, it's the majority side, right? If there is any side that will not do anything to jeopardize the process, it's the majority side, right? If there's any side that has anything to lose, it's the majority side. And it played out during Bagbo's election. The minority wanted to drag it as much as they could because there were heads of state that had arrived awaiting the presidential inauguration. And guess what? Eventually, the majority then had to yield. So it's a convention in Parliament. Yes, it's been overflowed. There are no two ways about that. We could do better.
They could do better.
But the reality is the picture I'm pointing to you, that the majority many a times is disabled.
Anyway, two things. Are they mindful of the fact that these things sometimes affect their
image outside
Parliament? Because there are so many people. 2 hours yesterday, I was watching my time. You can't waste and I think Giba should just write to them and appeal to them that, look, we are taking these proceedings live. We've put on hold our commercial interests. Can you also at least well, 2 hours is very expensive.
That amount of time,
2 hours on any media platform.
The amount of time they spent doing that back and forth could have been used to vet Haruna, because Haruna was done within 1 hour 43 minutes.
Yes, and of course, it's Haruna's vetting, in essence, was just
a conversation.
Conversation, and then also because he's been there for about four
Since
times.
2005.
4 times before the same committee. So what is it that you're going to ask him with a reception of the sector-specific questions, which I do 2 men, and I think Afenima can handle. And then the anti-gay bill back and forth, which I think even the ranking member did not quote the president fully. But the president, after saying that if we teach our children the values, the Christian values, there might not be the need for legislation, went ahead to say that the state will have to sponsor that particular bill, right? But I understand Haruna's position, and he's never run away from that position. Just as Trump has never run away from that position that he has just espoused. That, see, it's not part of the culture of the country. It's not morally right. And he spoke in support of the legislation. So for anybody to attempt to extract an answer, that would mean that let's shelve the legislation and teach our children our values. And that should be the answer to this. He stayed clear of it. Again, the students, the new fees stress.
His attention had to be drawn.
Yeah.
Because he said it was limited to traditional universities.
Yeah,
but then
the nurses and then...
So his attention was drawn to the manifesto.
Exactly. And he came to correct that. Aside that, I think government will have to do something about those who have to benefit from this now and indeed are unable to pay the admission fees. As we speak, schools are resuming, and there are some people who will not be able to pay the admission fee. In that case, given the fact that government has made a commitment that it will pay, I think they should go into an agreement with the universities.
It should let them in.
Just let them in. When government is fully formed, will come and then reimburse. Okay. It's as simple as that.
All right. Let's go to what the papers have been saying this morning. We've been saying our own, having our bites on various issues. So the Daily Graphic newspaper, front page, 135 billion Ghana cedis debt hangs over road sector. Minister designate reviews. And Charlie, yesterday was quite revealing.
Yeah,
and he seems to be very much on top of issues. Yeah. So he seemed very much aware of where he was going and everything. I mean, he had been before his position as the whip. Yeah. He was, spokesperson on.
Yeah, roads and transports.
Yes. So
for sector knowledge, 2 individuals. Yeah, Haruna, because the questions were limiting, right? And then we had limited questions. Yeah. But Elkobugu.
Yes.
And then David Kwame.
Brilliant.
Sector knowledge.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
There was a part with Eric Opoku where Afenyo had said that because of the sensitivity of that area, especially when it comes to cocoa, they needed to tread cautiously because it can affect the market and all that. And he said, okay, no problem. But then the questions the minority was asking of him, some of them elicited some of these. He was like, then he would remind the leader them that, well, you say that the sector is sensitive and all, but your questions are eliciting some of these responses.
Giving that advice.
So yeah, I mean, yes, those two, I mean, their knowledge on the sector was very interesting. One of the issues I've been keen on is in relation to the street lights, and I think Jerry Ahmed Shaib asked something in relation to that, and he said it's because of the delays in paying some of these people. Yep. Some of them are owed as far back as 7 years and stuff like that, and it's affecting us. Please solve it for us and light up the city for us, we beg you. Other stories here: President orders probe into Obuasi mine killings, and free SHS policy won't be cancelled. I don't know why this thing always makes a headline. I thought
because it was more or less like a campaign, campaign.
But I thought that it's been settled. That is, it's not a cancellation. Well, anyway,
it's also an easy angle to take.
It's an very easy angle to take. Very easy. Factor road tolls in roadworthy renewal. Engineering expert says, and Volta region to host NAFAC 2026.
That will not be fair. I've thought of that particular proposal as well, but that will not be fair. There's and if you've been to the villages, there are some vehicles in the villages that will never leave the village. So they move from one village to the other. They will never use a third route, with the exception of when they will probably purchase or then when they will collect from the hub port. You want to tell me that vehicle owner
should go and
pay for road tolls when that vehicle will never use a road that is being tolled? It's not fair. So yes, the electronic and digitalization is welcoming. But if you say that it should be wholesale, then you are not.
But I think the minister even indicated that persons with challenges who are manning this may soon get their work back. Yeah. So obviously we may have a physical tool. I think that is the only logical.
But then that issue about they having their work, the jobs back. I thought YE employed them. So
some of them have been employed.
YE employed,
but majority of them haven't.
Because YE absorbed them. Their communication
before the election.
Yes.
But why don't you want to spend like 3 minutes around Tobu? Don't you know it's a whole economy? I mean, the plantain chip sellers, the pure sellers. I mean,
but you see, we are measuring these things with the Kasua one. The Kasua one was deadly.
Yeah. But I don't think the motorway, which is the regular
there was no gridlock like that. It's the Kasua one. So everything that we are against is because of the Kasua.
But right now, they are doing an expansion, right? Of the Kasua road and stuff like that.
Even the motorway there.
Where they did the blast.
We even get to where the two boat is.
The blast area, where is it? It's Budumbura.
After Budumbura.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
It is what it is.
I'm done.
Many times, okay. Of Francois Road, that's another headache. If there's any road that got people mad, and I mean literally, that got people to say we're going to vote against MPP, regardless of the fact that they are doing a road, is the Franco and Sahom Road. See, the buses, the big buses, whenever it rained, you get there and their pumps have burst. Because you wouldn't know the gully you are falling into. Boom, then that's it. You see the car parked there. Car loaded with passengers going to Kumasi. So they will have to wait.
What's the road again?
The Ofanko in Sahom Road.
Okay.
When you are going to Kumasi. Immediately after the Pukwasi interchange, there's another hell there. That's where about 7 people died.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Charlie, and if you're using a small vehicle like my own, look, the last time I was going to Adesu and I used that road, and my AC wasn't working, so I had to roll down. Look, I was forced to roll up because it rained and the big vehicles were just splashing mad on me. Look, I got down. When I arrived, you would think that I walked from Accra to Adesu.
Seriously?
Like, what is this?
Seriously? See, and to say this project was started immediately after Pokuase in Tetey.
And you see, that's the thing. You see, sometimes if you do a lot of propaganda, then reality will expose you. Because Pokuase, really, the money had been secured for you. You just had to put it out.
And so, aside that, there were some goals that needed to be pacified.
Out of Anko area.
Yeah, there is a project. So the goals, yes, there were some goals that needed to be pacified. And then, so after the pacification, the goals then gave the green light.
Charlie, you have to cut some tree behind.
Exactly.
At the point, Ken Crunchy was saying they should give him the store. He will go
and get the thing.
It should be too no. We say no Jane.
Yeah. Because but see, the thing is, if we had done it quickly, I'm sure the girls could have been considerate because the dust was entering their eyes.
I'm sure the girls they fruit produce. So the offsprings may not be aware that we've pacified their ground.
We have to pacify their others.
Exactly.
Yes. Anyway, the dust can sack them. So by the time they return, we are done.
Are you done?
So Francon's our own rule. Traveler's headache. It's a nightmare. Fire outbreak displaces dozens as Mampong. And Donald Trump sworn in as
47th.
president. Yeah, as U.S. president. We can't say as president. President of what? So as U.S. president.
President of the world.
Okay, but anyway, yes, basically the U.S. president. Yeah. That's it. And it's about how conscious they are about their country and God. God bless America. Yeah. Back. God bless Ghana. Road tolls to be introduced with digitized system, and that's according to Abuja. Back page of the Ghanaian Times. First car group to construct 200 megawatt solar plant at Yapi and Salaga. Sakafia Islamic SHS wins 2025 Zayed Sustainability Prize. Hooray! Congratulations to you people.
This one next you have to apply.
Which one?
The Zayed.
Zayed ibn Thabit. He's part of the people who wrote the Holy Quran, who compiled it. Yeah. Then you've forgotten your religious and moral education.
All right, the newspaper that I have is the Daily Dispatch newspaper. NPP will definitely present Baumia for 2028. NPP MP. It's like this guy doesn't want the party to.
Yeah, I think that should be Dr. Ayufri.
Yeah, but why is he making that comment now? 21st January 2025 anyway. Alliance for Revolutionary Change dissolved, according to Abu Sakara.
I think he was never happy with the alliance. Yeah. Because I feel like he had an alliance that didn't look like an alliance. He was outside the alliance. The alliance didn't.
Alliance.
I think
alliance was just alliance.
The Nkrumah's people should be careful with alliance. You know, a great alliance.
Yes.
You know, Christopher contested Ayawa so
exactly.
And he lost.
Yeah.
Even though there was a certain alliance. And people shouldn't have fielded the candidate.
They still feel.
So the Nkrumah's people. Me, I'm not in Nkrumah, so me and IB, we have alliance.
Yes.
Lawyer Eduji Tamaklu to head National Petroleum Authority. 9 others appointments revealed. Back page of the Daily Dispatch newspaper. 5 key highlights from road ministers designates vetting. You can grab a copy of the newspaper for the details. And 345 million cedis required to implement free tertiary tuition policy. Aruna Idrisu, and I acknowledge my temperament. I will work on it. Kwame Abuja.
Yeah.
All right. The New Crusading Guide newspaper is the next paper I have here. Obuasi mine deaths. Mahama orders probe. Illegal miners breach security parameter. Ghana Armed Forces says. Queen Price, so Queen Mother fate hangs as registrar delays case. And evaluate Jura. NDC rejects skirt and blouse financiers vying for MCE position, and governments must intensify fight against Galamsey coalition demands, and 345 million Ghana cedis needed for free tertiary admission policy. That's according to the Minister of Education designate Haruna Idrisu.
All right, so let me give you the Daily Post. President Mahama makes new appointments to the presidency. Okay, so we didn't talk about Setepe. Setepe is presidential advisor on the economy. Nana Oyebampo Ado, deputy chief of staff administration. Yes, and who was it we miss? So that's Professor Kweku Danso-Boafo, Cabinet Secretary, as you mentioned. So that's it. 673 kilometers of roads constructed since 2017. Not Akufo-Addo's 11,000 kilometers. And here, I blame the technocrats. I remember doing this story after the President's State of the Nation address. Now, I remember Abuja making the point forcefully that cannot be accurate. Guess what? The minister said he was ready to furnish the House with details of these roads that had been done. Per what Abuja told the Appointments Committee, it's the same technocrats at the ministry who presented the document to the transition team. And now, instead of the 11,000, it is 673 kilometers. So what was it that, yes, that compared to 11,000, look at the difference.
So from Accra to Kumasi is roughly 300
kilometers, yes.
So like twice of that, just for people to have an idea.
Twice of that is what has been done. Twice from Accra to Kumasi, twice of that is what has been done nationally.
Hey. Year of roads.
The year
that's why the year of roads.
COVID came and took the roads away at a point, and then we had
COVID has worried us, so we couldn't build the 88 hospitals. Then the agenda 111 to
in fact, the 88 hospitals that were because of COVID.
Ready? Agenda 111.
Yeah, some.
Adasa.
It is Adasa. The Adasa.
Please, are you done?
No. The other headlines here. First year tertiary students' admission fees will be refunded. Harun Idrisu. Ghana's poultry sector in crisis. Urgent revamp needed. What struck me about Erikopoku's submissions will be the school farms. Of course, now I cannot relate. Only in school, right? You do school farm. So the school had farm. Planting.
So it means the two of us, we are actually farmed before.
Oh, yes, of course.
You know,
I know.
Yeah.
I know. That's why I excluded you and then I took now. Right.
Hardship is not an achievement.
I said I farmed. Why are you reducing it to hardship?
How is
that why I was struggling when I was a farmer?
It's not an achievement.
This perception we need.
Yes.
You were in school and now cultivating yam and cassava.
Yes. Teaching you about agriculture.
And then you know yourself.
Yes. Do you even know which part of yam is planted? That's the point.
You don't peel it before
planting. There are basic things you are taught in agriculture.
Okay, but they need a practical. Yes.
So the practicals, they usually would have a small area that you go and put the yam, the head, in and put a mold over it when it's growing, and then you put a stick there for the thing to.
You have read very well. You have read practical. Yeah, it's very practical.
You're weeding.
It's good. Anyway.
It's not an achievement.
Anyway, a Black West state capture expose forces attempts with MP to lock his Facebook profile. No, it's a real account. Yesterday he was at appointment committee. You know he's a ranking member.
This one we can verify. So.
Oh yeah. But sometimes it's not that you want to buy. You are there. Everybody else is buying. If you don't buy, your people will say you. Why didn't you buy? Yeah. So you buy some.
Anyway.
All right. The insights newspaper is the final one I have. This is a very lengthy headline. Free SHS will be revised, strengthened, and admission fees of first-year students refunded under no fee stress NDC policy. Aruna Idrisu and Bura over sale of land. Others. NCT biomedical refutes claim by Achehene as it apologized to Kwewu Hene. Mahama should swiftly reverse Akufo-Addo's suspension of diplomatic ties with SADR, Suleiman Abrahima, and defeating corruption in Ghana, as Kennedy has a lengthy piece on page 3 of the Insight newspaper.
All right. Now before you come in, Papa Kwe has a message for you. See, why is mommy hating? Mommy, why are you hating? Why are you hating on that? So, like, even at Notre Dame seminary. Oh, Papa Kwe went to a seminary. So, I mean, remember that. We also had a school farm. And then, including livestock. You see,
I said
you don't have to pick eggs.
It is your own problem. Suffering is not an achievement.
Please.
How is it suffering?
Please.
Continue. Go and farm. Go back to school and farm.
But we are still farmers.
Yes, we are still farmers.
Go back to your schools and farm.
No, we are still farmers.
Who are you farming? Farm away.
Well, I can't tell you all the details, but I'm still a farmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I'm a farmer.
See, less than
I can't tell you all the details.
less than 5% of young people are into agriculture.
Yes.
And that is unpardonable.
It has to change.
It has to change.
It has to.
And it takes million people to change such a narrative, because we've been to farm before. We know how a cocoa pod looks like.
Join.
Yes.
We also convince others to join, and gradually we'll get there.
Have you seen Popo attacked with tree before?
No.
All the boys you see are in the park.
I've never seen that before. How do they look like? Did they use glue to attach it?
You can actually climb Popo tree.
Oh, you can. I've not even seen coconut before.
Oh, but you buy one from the Kube seller.
Yes.
Yeah, that one, yes.
I don't even know how it looks, because
how they get
every time when I get the coconut, it's already already been poured. The juice has been poured, and then
sometimes it confuses you with a palm tree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
I've never. I don't even know how contumely looks like.
Contumely grows behind the house. So yeah,
there's nothing that grows in my house.
No, there's limitation to your knowledge about farming.
I don't even know.
But not that much.
I don't even know. How a mango tree looks like.
That one you have one at home. And the neighbors have been picking it. Yeah, that we know.
When you like, you see, that's the thing about us.
Yeah.
When you like, we know.
Anyway, so you did a data copy. Let me just clear the Chronicle.
Yes.
Okay, the Chronicle. War of nerves in Parliament are here for forced to suspend sitting, acting upon Mohammed's directive. Dampare probes 2020-2024 elections killings. Special investigative team has already started work. An LGBTQI plus debate. We will preserve our value system. Hamid Risu, and quotation for this morning, Titus 3:1. Remind them to be subject to rulers, to authorities, to be obedient, to be ready for every good deed. So be obedient and be subject to your rulers.
Amen.
Respect authority. And it goes for everybody, including members of the appointments committee.
All right.
Yeah, so that's it for the Chronicle.
Thank you very much for your
You are most welcome.
sermon. Well, the National Enquirer, it says here, Mahama has no plans to cancel free SHS. Agboja exposes Akufo-Addo's deceit, says MPP constructed only 673 kilometers of new roads in 8 years, not 11,000. I think that 11,000 is not a amalgamation of all the new roads, the ones they have remade, re-asphalted and stuff like that.
Yeah, it could be. For if all the roads that have been tarred in Ghana, of course that would be more than 11,000 kilometers, right? But this one, it was specific to new projects.
Okay.
New projects, yeah.
All right.
A new project included even feeder also. So once, of course, when you talk about road construction, it's not just the tarred, it's not just asphalted, it's all the roads that have been paved, yeah.
Okay. Other stories here. Job for sale. Grassroots neglect led to MPP's defeat. Dr. John Kurugu. And NDC USA chapter congratulates Sami Jemfi. That's it for the National Enquirer.
Why is a member of the chapter?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, sir.
There's Bawa, the sitting issue.
Okay.
There's Bawa, Mevrio Latte, Shamima Muslim, named in Muhammad's new appointment. I think the media house has a proper picture of Mevrio Latte.
It's a security person.
Yeah, security people.
And he barely grants one-on-one.
Yeah, no, he won't.
Larry.
Yeah.
Devlolati.
Yeah. Trump pardons, he was at the point the commander of the 64 Battalion, the famous 64 Battalion.
Commandos.
Yeah, the commandos. Trump pardons nearly 1,600 Capitol Hill riots defendants as he signs first orders of presidency. Elizabeth Ufuswa-Jare, Ahmed Ibrahim to be vetted today. Yes, and then the gender minister as well, Agnes Namumu Latte. Ghana's poultry sector, but of course they will start with Ibrahim Ahmed, and then the committee will break.
That's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, the committee will break, and then Parliament sits today, so they'll go to the plenary. After adjournment, they will return and raise the two others.
Okay.
So today will be a long day for you people. Yeah. Ghana's poultry sector.
It says to be a long day for you. Why not?
No. After the first word, I'm done. Ghana's poultry sector. Ghana's poultry sector in crisis. Urgent revamp needed. LGBTQ plus is repugnant for my values and ethics. Harun Idrisu. Also, finally, cocoa production faces severe decline, lowest in 20 years. I have no regrets about being replaced as minority leader. Harun Idrisu. Mahama has no plans to cancel free SHS. That's it for City Newsroom.
Let me take you to starfm.com.gh front page. Mahama appoints son Dogbe as Deputy Chief of Staff, Tetey as a presidential economic advisor. Yeah. This is not a surprise to many.
No.
They saw it coming. Akufo-Addo's government is the worst in Ghana's Fourth Republic. In Team 4... No, it cannot be.
It cannot be.
Jeez. I left out not. You see, as I read it, I was like,
no, it cannot be.
It cannot be,
yeah.
Please.
It's a career-ending statement.
Hey, Akufo-Addo's government is not the worst in Ghana's Fourth Republic. Tension in Krobo over 6 months water crisis. Krobo Youth Group's petition PURC. And Michael S.D. Kodria promises to tackle illegal sun-winning menace if nominated as a DC. And 345 million Ghana cedis needed for free tertiary tuition policy, Harun Idrisu says. And NPP constructed 673 kilometers of road, not 11,000 kilometers. Governs Abuja. Interest on road debt rises to 666 million Ghana cedis. Charlie. And then Mahama pledges to improve healthcare and other infrastructure development in Ashanti region. That's it for starfm.com.gh. Effectively bringing the newspaper review segment to an end. We will go for a break. When I return, Ibrahim Alassan is here. Mutala Inusa is also here. He'll tell us what has been happening in the world of the courts. Stay tuned in. We will be back shortly.